Welcome again. Rectilinear motion graphical analysis part 5. The question is given here. A particle starts from the origin O from rest and moves with a uniform acceleration along the x-axis. Identify which figure that correctly represent the motion qualitatively. So since it is moving with a uniform acceleration, so the value of the acceleration is constant over time. So we can consider here that it is completely correct. The acceleration is constant over time. If the acceleration is constant over time, then I am saying in the previous lectures that the acceleration versus time curve basically represents the slope of the velocity versus time curve. So velocity versus time curves slope should be a constant, because acceleration is constant, so the slope of the velocity versus time curve should be a constant. So it is also correct one. So 1 is correct one, 2 is correct one, 1 is correct one, 2 is correct one. Next, here x versus t, obviously x is not 0 at t equal to 0, it will be somewhere here. It starts its motion, let us say it is some value x0 or something. So after x0 it starts moving with time. The displacement with the time axis is increasing, and after some time interval it becomes parallel, so it is not moving. It is not possible if a particle is moving at constant acceleration after a displacement, after a certain interval, after a displacement it ceases its motion or it comes to rest. It is not possible. And here it represents, so it can be, here it represents the x versus time curve, and here the velocity versus time curve basically shows that the velocity is increasing continuously. If the velocity is increasing continuously, so this basically shows that the slope of the x versus time curve, so it is right. So 1, 2 and 4, so the option D is the right option here. So these three basically represents the motion of a particles along the x-axis with the uniform acceleration. The next question is, all the graphs here represents the intend to represent the some motion, and one of them does not correctly. Okay, it is, we have to find out which one is not correct, which is not here, have not correctly represents the motion. So just see here, option A, the velocity is decreasing, it becomes 0 and then it becomes a negative direction. So the option A will be talking about the particle is moving in this direction, after it ceases and just returns back with the greater velocity. So obviously it is representing a motion. If we are looking about the curve, option C, that is the x versus t curve, from 0 at t equal to, it starts from 0, its displacement is increasing, and after some time it becomes constant. So it starts from the 0, it starts moving, this point it is moving, and here it again ceases its motion. So obviously it represents a motion qualitative. Here a particle with that increasing time, its displacement is increasing, and after that it returns back to the same path, same point, again its displacement is 0. So if it starts from here, it returns back to again here, so it basically represents this. So only one option left, that is B. We have to check whether it is qualitatively represents the motion or not. So for one particular value of x, the velocity is, two velocities are there. If I say for one particular position the particle has two velocity, one have the positive, one have the negative. One particular point of the motion, let us consider particle is here, the particle have the positive value of velocity, positive magnitude of velocity in that direction, and negative magnitude of velocity. It is not possible, then the particle will not execute the motion. If the velocities in the both directions are same, then the particle cannot execute the motion. If the particle cannot execute, it will be at rest, so it does not represent the motion of the particle. So ACD represents the motion of the particle, not the same motion but something like this, but here this does not represent the motion, because at a particular position the particle cannot have the one and opposite velocities, equal and opposite velocities acting on it. It is not possible. Then the particle cannot move at that particular position. Here this is basically the velocity versus time curve, and let us read what it is said. The velocity versus time graph of the two bodies A and B is given here. Choose the correct statement. So just see what I can get from here. That the acceleration of A is greater than the acceleration of B. It is a velocity versus time curve, so its slope will give the acceleration. So the acceleration of A, if I take a slope here or if I take an angle here, the two ways the acceleration of it can be measured. Acceleration of B again can be measured by calculating the slope. Obviously slope here for the particle A is greater than that of the particle B. So the acceleration of the particle A is greater than that of the particle B. So the option A is correct. So obviously option B will be false, but I have to check the other options also. Both are starting from the same point. Obviously V equal to 0 at T equal to 0, so both are starting from the same point. C is correct. A covers the greater distance than that of B. Obviously that will be calculated from here. Okay. If I calculate the area of this curve, and the area of this one, so just from symmetry, just seeing this, which one covers the greater area? Which one here covers the greater area? Obviously the A and B, half into base into height, and half into, here the height is less and the base is also greater. So which one covers the greater area? Obviously here A covers the greater area. Just looking it, we can understand this thing. Okay, and another thing it is said A covers the greater distance than B. How we can observe this thing? By simply we can observe that the velocity of the A and velocity of B is like this, the maximum velocity. So from this we can say that the area of the B, A and area of the A, which one covers the greater area? A covers the greater area there, so D is also correct. By looking at the curve we can sense it. All the time all the values are given, numerical data are given, we will do the calculation. Sometimes you have to analyze qualitatively, and here you see A, C, D are the correct option. So MCQ does not means that one correct option is there. There will be the multiple choice. There will be the multiple choice questions, and there will be multiple correct options are there. So if one option is correct, please check other options are correct or not. Next question. Let us look about this, that which statement is correct. It is the velocity versus, obviously it is a time curve, velocity versus time curve. Now if I calculate the average velocity, it is talking about the average velocity of the entire journey is 2.5 meter per second. So if I calculate the average velocity, so how I calculate the average velocity? Average velocity will be total distance divided by total time, and the distance can be calculated by calculating the area of this one and this one. Obviously this one and this one are symmetric. The time is 2 seconds, it is minus 10, and the time is here 4 minus 2 seconds, and it is also plus 10. So these two are symmetric, so we can say that these two areas basically cancels out each other. So the area which is effective here, this one and this one. So what it measures? 5 into minus 4, 5 minus 4 is 1, and it is 10. okay, and it is 10. So 10 into the, we can calculate distance here for this section, that is 10 into 1 displacement, and here 1 by 2, and the distance is, and here it is 1, the base, and the height is here 10. So it will be 10 plus 5, 15. So it will be 10 plus 5, 15. 15 is the total displacement, and the total time is here, from here to here, it is 6 seconds. So 15 by 6, what it gives to us, that is it is, if I calculate this thing, obviously it will be not 2.5. The average velocity I am calculating total distance by total time. Total distance by total time is not 2.5. It is something 3.5 something. So this option is not correct. Next is that the average acceleration from 1 second to 4 second. Average acceleration from 1 second to 4 second. That is from here to here. Okay. From here to here, average acceleration is 5 meter per second square. How I calculate the acceleration? Acceleration is basically the slope of the velocity versus time curve. So if I calculate the slope, it is measures 10, it measures 2. So 10 by 2 is 5. So it is the average acceleration. Here also it is 10 and it is 2. It is also 10. So it is, the slope is also 5 here. So the average acceleration from 1 second to 4 second is 5 meter per second square. It is true. The average speed in the first 4 seconds is 0, because in the first 4 seconds the total distance, if I calculate the total distance in 4 seconds, just think about the speed. The speed is concerning about the distance. The speed is concerning, not concerning about the velocity. So you have to calculate this one, and it is not 0 in case of distance. The distance is not 0, because the distance can be negative. The displacement can be negative. Here if I calculate the area is negative in case of, if I calculate displacement. The area's value is have to be considered in case of calculating the distance. So here this area and this area cannot be cancels out each other. They are symmetric. They cancel out each other if I am calculating displacement. But in case of speed, we have to consider total distance. Total distance is not 0. So option C is not correct. The acceleration at t equal to 3 seconds is 5 meter per second square. At 3, that is, I am talking about 3. Obviously, acceleration, obviously, it is the average acceleration. It is the average acceleration if I consider a very small slope here. Obviously, if I calculate it, that is the same thing is followed. At t equal to 3 seconds, if I consider very small slope here, and if I consider that del t tends to 0, at that particular time interval, then we get. But this thing, this slope is not changed over this. So the average acceleration is equal to that of the instantaneous acceleration. So obviously the option D is also correct. It is a multiple choice correct answer, and here multiple correct answer we are obtaining here. Next question. This type of questions basically asked, and this type of questions are called the paragraph based question. Just see here that here the velocity versus time curve here represents the velocity is negative, and it will remain constant as the time goes on, and at time t1 the velocity is not changed. Now for the curve 2, the velocity is continuously increasing, and its maximum at t equal to t1, and the velocity is decreasing continuously, and it becomes 0. After that it is increasing in the negative direction. That is the essence of the curve 3. Now for the curve 4, just see it is a velocity versus time curve, and the velocity is continuously decreasing, and it becomes 0 at t equal to t1. So in which of the graphs both the net displacement and the velocity is negative? Net displacement, if I am looking here, obviously here if I calculate the area of this, it will be negative, and the velocity, area of the velocity versus time curve, and the area of the velocity versus time curve gives the displacement. Here the area is negative, it is on the downside. So this option will be satisfied, option 1 will be satisfied. And here the area is on the positive half, so it can't be first quadrant, it will be never be. But here just see, here the amount of area in the positive part is is less than that of the negative part. So the displacement in the positive direction is less than that of the negative direction. So in this case the displacement is negative. Overall displacement is, net displacement is negative. Here it can't be negative. So I have to check about the displacement and the velocity. Here the velocity is negative, here the velocity is also negative, because the velocity, a small part of the velocity is in the positive direction and the greater part of the velocity is in the negative direction. So the resultant, if I check, then the resultant will be in the negative direction. So the displacement and the velocity, net displacement and the net velocity is negative in 1 and 3. So the option is not here, but the option should be 1 and 3. 3 and 4 can't be, 1 and 2 can't be, only one can be. So the options are given and does not match. But if we go for the logic, I think there is a printing mistake. There should be 1 and 3. So obviously we should go for the logic. In which graph the particle may return to the initial position again? Just say, in which graph the particle may return in the initial position again. How it will be? It is a velocity process time curve. The particle returns to its initial position again. So just check it. The velocity process time curve, here the negative velocity is continuously acting on it. Here the positive velocity is accelerating it, obviously. Positive velocity, constant velocity. Acceleration is constant here. Here the acceleration is 0. Here the acceleration is 0. Here the acceleration is constant. Here the acceleration is at first negative. Here the acceleration is negative. Here the acceleration is also negative. So in which case the acceleration is 0? This case the acceleration is 0 because the velocity is not changing. So from this concept, if the acceleration of the particle is 0, then no force is acting on it. So from that we can say that if the acceleration on the particle is 0, it is moving with the same velocity, no force is acting on it. But here if we say that it is decreasing from positive, velocity becomes 0 and then negative. See, if I write down the displacement versus time curve for each of it, it will be just like the parabolic. It will be again parabolic. It is at first increasing and then again it can be decreasing. I want to say that if the displacement versus time graph we draw, it is increasing, then it may be decreasing like this, and here it will be decreasing like this. So here it may return, so it starts from here and ends up here. So option 3 will be the right answer. Okay, there is no question of in these two particular cases, but here it starts from it, this is the maximum value, after that again comes to here. Velocity, here the velocity process time curve, it is negative, it is negative, it is negative. So we can say there are lots of possibilities, multiple correct. Here it can be, because here it is velocity is negative, so it is, then it becomes 0. Velocity is negative, so then it becomes, velocity negative means the displacement is also negative. Velocity is decreasing, so the velocity is decreasing, so it may be like this. So option C 3, I think it is the right answer. The position versus time graph of the two children A and B is like this. A and B returning from the school O, we can say this is the O, the origin, and to their homes P and Q, that is the distance from here P and Q. We have discussed this type of things in the previous lectures. P and Q respectively, along the straight line path taken along the x-axis. It is okay. So it is represent the x versus time, how the displacement changes with time. A lives closer to the school than B. It is the A's home is at the point P, and B's home is at D point Q. Obviously A leaves, it is the school, O is the school, P is the A's home, Q is the B's home. So home of A will be closer than that of B. So A lives closer to the school than B. First option is correct. A starts from the school earlier than B. A starts from the school earlier. Obviously, A starts at t equal to 0, but B starts at t equal to 1. Obviously, after this time, the is spent by the B in the school sometime of whatever with the activities. He starts from the school at t equal to t1. Obviously, A starts from the school earlier than B. Correct. A and B have the equal average velocities. From 0 to t0. They have the equal average velocities. It is said equal average velocities. It is said because the average velocities is depending on not the instantaneous values. It is depending on the total distance covered by total time. So here if I say the total distance covered here, obviously it is this, the total distance covered here to here divided by time. The time is same, both of them reach the home at t0. So the time is same, but here the distance for A is less than that of the distance for P, because the distance OP, basically A covers the distance OP and B covers the distance OQ. Since OQ is greater than OP, or you can say OP is less than OQ, so here we can say that if we calculate the velocity, average velocity of A, then the average velocity of A will be less than that of the average velocity of B. So this thing can't be. B overtakes A on the way. B overtakes A, obviously B overtakes A on the way. It is the correct option. Next question we are going to see now. It is the next question. A particle can travel from A to B from the two different paths. Obviously this is the two different paths, y versus x is shown. So in the two different paths, that is from 1, another path is 2. So in this two different path, it is moving from A to B. Average velocity along the two paths must be equal. Just see here, here the A and B reaches same interval of time. It should be same interval of time. If the interval of time is same, if I concerning about the velocity is concerning about the displacement by time, the displacement from A to B will remain constant whatever with the path chosen by A and B, whatever with the path chosen by particle 1 and 2 here. So the displacement is constant over time. Since the displacement is same for particle 1 and 2, so displacement by time will be obviously equal. At which path the particle 1 choose does not matter. In the case of particle 1 also the displacement is the same as that of the particle 2. So this thing is equal. The particle may travel along both the paths unaccelerated. Particle may travel along both the paths unaccelerated. You can say this because this is the representing the two paths. Both two paths unaccelerated, without any acceleration. Here if I say that is the path, so there will be direction change in velocity, so it does not carry any sense. I think here no information about the acceleration is not given. Let us check it later. The direction of the instantaneous velocity along the path 1 and 2 can be same for a maximum of 2 points on the paths. The direction of the instantaneous velocity along the path 1 and path 2. So if I calculate the instantaneous velocity at this point and the instantaneous velocity at this point, it is same to that of this point and same to that of this point. So instantaneous velocity may be same for maximum 2 points. It may be same. The average and instantaneous velocity along the path have the average and instantaneous velocity along the path 1 have the same direction. The average and instantaneous velocity along the path 1 have same direction. So what it basically says, the velocity, average velocity and the instantaneous velocity. If I calculate the average velocity and the instantaneous velocity cannot show the same directions, because instantaneous velocity at different points are different. At different points the instantaneous velocities are different. Maybe the average velocity of two are same, but the average velocity, instantaneous velocity, you have to calculate velocity at different points. It following two different paths. But the thing is about the instantaneous velocity. The instantaneous velocity means it is talking about the displacement at that particular position. So if I want to say that, then for a particular time interval, if I consider at that time interval, it will just cover this thing, and each and every small time interval it covers this path. If I check the instantaneous velocity, obviously it can be same, because each and every time interval its time directions is like this. So D is somehow not correct. So I have now checked B and D. The particle may travel along the both paths unaccelerated. Yes, it is the possibility. Whether they are moving with the accelerated or not accelerated, the information is not given. So it may be. It is said it is may. So it is correct in that sense, but it is not correct. Instantaneous velocity continuously, the directions of it continuously changing. So the correct option is D here. The next question is about the drawing, that is the velocity versus time here. Basically shows the two cyclists moving along the same straight line, but it is the velocity versus time graph, not the x versus time graph, just like before, not the displacement versus time graph. So moving along the same straight highway from the same point, obviously they are starting from the same point, but they are started at different time. The second cycle starts at t equal to 3 minutes. At what time do the cyclists meet? It is not that. It is not what it is representing. It is representing at time t equal to 4 minutes. Both of them have the same velocity. But it is not saying that at that point they will meet. So please deal this carefully. So for the particle 1, if I am thinking, then in moving in that particular direction, we say this is a theta 1, and this tan theta 1 is nothing but gives the slope, and the slope is, if I say at that particular point it have the velocity v0 at that particular point, that is when 4 minutes, at that time they have the velocity v0, but it does not mean they meet there. That is, if I am drawing here, that is, if this is the highway, A1 starts from here and he is moving with his velocity. Let us say he is moving with his velocity. Let us check what it is. It is v0 divided by 4. This is the velocity of it. V0 divided by 4. This is the acceleration of it. So after, when he is somewhere here, I can say that is he covers some distance. When the particle one covers some distance and the particle one is here, at that time the particle 2 starts his journey after 3 minutes. So he will move with his velocity up to 3 minutes. And after that it is said that the particle 2 starts his journey. So after some time, maybe the particle 1 is here, maybe the particle 2 is here, they are not actually meeting, but at that particular two time, when 4 minutes elapsed, when the time equal to 4 minutes, t equal to 4 minutes, maybe the particle 1 and particle 1 is here, particle 2 is here, maybe. And at that particular time, both of them have the same velocity, but they are at the two different points on the path, not at the same point. This thing you need to understand. After that, they will moving with the same velocity and they will meet each other. So if I am try to say this thing again, particle 1 and particle 2 starts from the same position but not at the same time. At t equal to 0, the particle 1 starts and moves here within 1 to 3 minutes. After his starting, when the 3 minutes is passed, then the particle 2 starts his journey. And he is just moving in the same direction, but both of them maintaining their constant velocities. So the particle 1 continues with the constant velocities, and the particle 2 also continues with the constant velocities. Okay, after some time, that is after 1 second, after 3 seconds plus 1 second 4 second, and 0 second plus 4 second, minute, 4 minute. After 4 minutes, the particle 2 and the particle 1 have the same velocity, but they are at the two different points on the path. After they are continuously doing so, they are maintaining their same velocities, and after that they reach there. So we have to understand here that, let us say, from the starting point at a distance x, they will meet. From the starting point at a distance x, they will meet. So just think about, so what it gives, this v0 by 4, what it gives? It is gives the acceleration of the particle 1. So if I talking about the particle 2, if I say this is the angle theta 2, this is v0 divided by 1, this is the v0, and this distance is 1. So v0 divided by 1, this is the slope of it, and that will be the acceleration of the particle 2. Obviously both of them have the different acceleration. The acceleration of the particle 1 is 1/4 that of the particle 2. Okay, so both of them starting from the same point. Here velocity is, at first their velocity is 0. So I have to check it dash for the particle 1. If I say, if it covers the x distance in time t, from here to here up in time t, this is for particle 1. The particle 1 in time t will reach here, but obviously to reach here the particle 2 has take t minus 3. The particle 2 have not take t minutes because he has started his journey 3 minutes later. So the time taken by him is t minus 3. So the initial velocity of the particle 1 is 0. So 0 into t plus 1 by 2 into acceleration of the particle 1 into t square. So this is the thing. Now for the particle 2, if I calculate, then the particle 2, his initial velocity is also 0 because he is starting from 0, but the time he take, that is t minus 3, that is not t. So it will be 1 by 2 into this acceleration of the particle 2 into t minus 3 whole square. So obviously these two things are equal. Okay, so if I just make these two things are equal, then obviously it is 0, then it will be 1 by 2. Acceleration is v0 divided by 4, that will be v0 by 4 and t square, and it will be 1 by 2 because this thing is 0. So 1 by 2, a2 is basically v0, and it is t minus of 3 whole square. So if I solve this thing, obviously v0 cancels out, then we get the time only. Half cancels out, v0 cancels out, so it becomes t square by 4 equal to t minus 3 whole square. So it will be t divided by 2 equal to t minus 3. So it will be t equal to 2t minus of 6. So if I calculate this, obviously you can get t equal to 6 minutes. So this is the right answer. So they will meet after 6 minutes, but their velocity will be same at 4 minutes, and both of them have not started the journey at the same time. The particle started a journey at t equal to 0, and the particle 2 has started a journey at t equal to 3 minutes after 3 minutes later. So this is the total scenario, and they will meet each other after the time 6 minutes. Okay, so this is the total story. If I go for the next problem, just see. Initially the card A and the card B, it is representing the velocity versus time curve. Initially the card A is 10.5 meter ahead, okay, 10.5 meter ahead, and both are moving at the time t equal to 0 at the same directions along the same straight line. So the scenario is something like this. If I want to show you, scenario is something like this. It is the straight path. If the card B is here, then the card A is slightly ahead. Okay. The card A maintains the constant velocity, that is 10 meter per second. It is given. And what it is asked, the time when the card B will catch the card A. So when they will meet. Let us say here they will meet. So the card A moving with the constant velocity, but for the card B, its velocity is increasing, but the acceleration is given by the slope. So for the card B, we can say the acceleration is tan 45 degree. So the tan 45 degree gives us, it is 1 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of it. So obviously if I say it is 10.5 meter, because the card A is 10.5 meter ahead, then after that the A will move x distance, but B have to move 10 plus 5 meter plus x distance, and both of them reach here at the same time. Both of them reach here at the same time because both of them start moving at the time t equal to 0. Time is same. Both of them reach there at the same time. So just think this, if both of them reach there at the same time, then we take the time t, then for the particle A, for the card A, if I write, then the x equal to 10 into t, x equal to v into t. For the card B, if I want to write, then the x will be, then he have to go 10.5, he have to go 10.5 plus, this is total distance covered by card B. And what is initial velocity of it? Initial velocity of it is 0, because it is at t equal to 0, its velocity is 0, but t equal to 0 card A's velocity is not 0, it is 10 meter per second. So here its velocity is 0, so it is 0 into t, s equal to ut 1 by 2. What is the acceleration? Acceleration is 1 here. And what is t squared? The time is t square. Okay, so we have to just substituting values and find out the solution. So it will be 10.5 plus x, it is 0 here, and acceleration is 1, so it is basically 0.5 t square. So 10.5 we can write down it as 21 by 2, and we can write down this as 1 by 2. So we can say it is the 21 and it is the 2x and it is t square. 2x and it is t square. So what we have to find out? Where they will meet. And is there any information about the when they will meet, that is the simultaneous equations when they will meet? How can we calculate from this? That is the solving. But it is the x, and if I replace this x by 10t, then it will be 21 plus 10t plus t equal to t square, so this t square equal to, you can say it is minus of 10t minus of 21, sorry, it is 10t into 2, so it is 20t, so it is 20t minus of 21 equal to 0. So it is very easy to do. After that, it is t square. Now we have to find out 21 from here. So if I just make it 21 minus 1 into t minus of 21, and after that just doing here, so t square minus 21t plus t minus 21. So if I take this t minus 21 plus 1, the t minus of 21, obviously 0, and then we can get t plus 1, we can get t plus 1 and t minus of 21 equal to 0. The t can't be negative if I take t equal to minus 1 but t equal to 21, so this is the option here. So they will meet with each other after 21 seconds. A is moving with a constant velocity but B is moving with an acceleration, but A is moving with the initial, B is moving with the initial velocity 0. So this is the thing. The next is that the graph shows the variation of velocity of rocket with time. What is the maximum height obtained by it? Obviously the velocity versus time graph, but it is talking about the maximum height, and the maximum height means it is talking about the displacement. And since it is talking about the displacement, if I calculate the area of this velocity versus time graph and this graph, obviously this does not give the maximum one, but here it can gives. And if I calculate the area of it, that is 1 by 2 into 1000, 1 by 2 into 1000, and it is from 0 to 110. It is from 0 to 110. So if I analyze this thing, it is meter per second, this second. Obviously the answer will be of the order of 55 kilometer. So what it basically, the velocity is increasing, okay, velocity increasing, attains the maximum value 1000 meter per second within 10 seconds. Okay, 1000 meter per second within 10 seconds. Just think. After that the velocity is decreasing for 100 seconds and becomes 0. Then it's just switch its trajectory, just it is moving. After that it just decreasing and then again returns back. This type of thing is here. Within 10 seconds it returns back. Next is that the graph shows the position as a function of time. This is so at time tb, both the trains have, the two trains are talking about here, two trains running on parallel tracks. Which statement is true? At time tb, both the trains have the same velocity. We cannot say both the trains have the same velocity because both of them meet there. The velocity how can be same? Because the position, it is says the slope is increasing, so the velocity is also increasing. After that the velocity becomes constant. After the velocity becomes constant, the slope is 0 here. Okay. So we can say after increasing, after going to some distance, the position is not changing, so it will be rest there. And what the A does, A is continuously increasing its velocity and just covers B. And the B is, I again tell what B is starts his journey moving with the some velocity. Obviously the velocity of the B is greater than that of A initially, and after that it becomes 0. After that its displacement becomes 0, so it will be at rest. But the A just moving with the same velocity, its velocity is not changing, but it is moving with the velocity that is less than that of B, but it is continuously doing so and just covers B. So it is just like the story of the hare and the tortoise. So at time tb, both the trains have the same velocity? No, at time they just crossing each other. Both the trains have the same velocity sometime after tb? No, sometime after tb it cannot be, because sometime after tb the velocity of b is 0, but the velocity of a can't be 0, it is continuously increasing, so it can't be. Both the trains have the same velocity at some time before tb. Both the trains have the same velocity? No, because the slope of the same velocity, obviously it can be. If I draw somewhere here, if it is parallel to then if I draw instantaneous velocity of b at that point, then it may be same. If I say the instantaneous velocity is somewhere here, the parallel to it, if the tangent of it is parallel to that of it, at that particular point we can get the velocity of the B and A is same. Somewhere on the graph both the trains have the same acceleration. trains have the same acceleration and the velocity is not changing. Velocity is constant, so there is no acceleration for A. Acceleration is 0. But here for B, the train is completely ceases its motion. So somewhere in the graph both the trains have the same acceleration and that value is 0 here. So next problem, the last problem of this, acceleration versus time graphs for the 4 objects are shown below. All the axes themselves are of the same scale, which had the greatest change in velocity. So just see, acceleration is changing, decreasing, becomes 0. It is decreasing, becomes 0. So here the change is rapidly, here the change is linearly, here it is increasing, but it is the greater change because from its value is just switches over from positive to negative. So if I say for any 2 points, it is the greater value, because if I say the acceleration at this point is plus minus a, and it will be the plus a. It will be the plus a. So plus a minus a, that is 2a in all the previous cases that can't be. So the option D is the correct answer here. Thank you.